This is another video about very boring investment advice, and I am Jay Clifton Payne, inviting you to enjoy this very boring investment advice and visit more of it at the website veryboringinvestmentadvice.com. We have for you articles, we have for you investment advice that's actually stocks and information about the markets, things like that, and some of these videos here, including today, where this is an investment, but not investment into the markets, an investment into, let's just say, yourself. Buying auto, home, and property insurance, how this is one of the safest investments that you will have. So bear with us as we talk to you not so much about putting something that's going to bring you more money, but something that's going to protect your assets and your money in the process. So let's start off as we always do for these videos to make sure you know where we come from. With the disclaimer, it's very important to have disclaimers so you know exactly who we are, who you are, and how our relationship is together. Now, the content provided by Very Boring Investment Advice, including but not limited to blogs, podcasts, and videos, and other materials, is for information purposes only. It is not intended to be and should not be considered financial, investment, tax, or legal advice. We are not financial advisors, and the information shared represents our opinions and research, which may not suit your specific financial situation. Any investment involving risk, including potential loss of principal, is there. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Before making any investment decisions, please consult with a licensed financial advisor or other qualified professional who can consider your unique financial situation and objectives. Very Boring Investment Advice assumes no responsibility or liability for any errors, inaccuracies, or omissions in the content provided. All investments are at your own risk, and you should stay informed, do your own research, and remember, boring can be smart, but also it's always your call to take the boring route, which works, or the not so boring route, which could work. It's more exciting, I won't say. So let's go on to what we're talking about today, which is buying auto, home, and property insurance and why it's good and what to look out for. Literally, those are the topics for today. 4 slides total. Starting off with the obvious things while we're here. Why, as an investment, auto, home, and property insurance is great. Honestly, it protects your assets. Number one, it shields your home, your car, and your property financial disaster. This is something I'll go into deeper detail as I explain these bullets because I have had issues with some of these things, whether it's something as small as a car accident, which isn't so small, to actually losing part of your home in a tornado, which is not very small at all, something that happened to me about 2 years ago. Insurance protects your assets from anything that could happen and anything that you can't do to deal with it. It requires it reduces long-term costs, I should read my slides better. A small premium that you put down now, put into your insurance, you make it into the investment for the company, can save you tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars later when you need to call that insurance property, call that insurance plan. And something goes wrong, you need to pull that dollars from that plan. The premium you put in now, the money you put up front, will help you going forward. It also offers peace of mind. It eliminates stress from a what-if situation, things like accidents, theft, or natural disasters. Trust me, a hurricane coming through your neighborhood is a very stressful thing, and hoping that everyone in the neighborhood is safe, which would happen, which is good. That day we had that hurricane, one person died of later injuries as that hurricane was on the ground for about 36 miles, starting pretty right near my home. My wife and my mother-in-law were in the house. They were safe. Nothing was issues as well. We just had half a house for about 18 months, which is a bit distressing. The insurance company took care of us. It's also required from ownership because mortgage lenders aren't going to give you that house and car loans aren't going to be provided for you until you have some sort of insurance, some sort of proof that their money on the line will be covered if something happens. So it's an investment in keeping your assets financed. If you want to pay cash for everything, if you got that kind of stick, go for it. But if you got to work on financing and want to use other people's money as the investment, you have to have it. Legal protection for covering liability if someone is injured or in your property or in an accident. The biggest thing about car accidents is if someone gets hurt, someone has to deal with it. If you get hurt, you have to deal with it. If other people get hurt, you may have to deal with their crazy bills. This will help you out in those cases. It also helps you rebuild wealth after a loss. Insurance will replace what you can't afford to replace out of pocket. So if it's something like a car as an asset, it will basically pay you back for the car. You may not need the car per se, but it's an asset that's worth something that's now lost in that working out. If you have a extra house, you're a real estate developer and all of a sudden you lose a property in some sort of natural disaster, you get paid back for that asset. What's worth that what asset is worth, the worth of the asset will be there for you to invest in another asset, build that one back, or put it back into your bank account to sit for later times. Oh, and by the way, all those commercials you see from all the companies talking about bundling, there are discounts for bundling your home and auto or home and other property that can save you money on your total costs, making it even more efficient for the buy. Now, you may have different things under different insurance companies, insurance plans, because that's how it's set up. But if you have the right plan, the right company, and you bundle everything together, that's how it works. My insurance company, which I've had for over 25 years, which is why I think they take good care of me, bundles all our pieces. Our homes, when we were renting out during the tornado displacement, the rental insurance there, all our cars, all our extra property done by the same group. So everything gets a discount altogether, and they take good care of everything as they do. Now, when you're getting that insurance and looking for that insurance, there are some things to look out for. I had 7 things that why it was good. Here are 7 bullet points on to look out for when getting your insurance. Not all policies are created equal. Cheaper is not always better. So read the coverage details carefully. There are people who have trouble getting insurance at all. So whatever they can get is great. But just because a commercial says we are the cheapest around or we'll give it to you for this low cost, doesn't mean you're going to get full coverage. In fact, it means you're going to get very limited coverage. If you need it, get what you need. If you need more, make sure you get what you need. Deductibles definitely matter in the case of what you're going to pay to get your investment and money back. Low premiums come with high deductible, so the balance is key. The lower you're paying in what you're paying in every month, will mean you have a very much higher deductible to get things back. You may pay like $100 a month for your premium, and then your deductible may be $2,000. That may work for you. Move those numbers around, make it different. Maybe you pay $200 a month for premium, so your deductible is only $1,000, or maybe it's $750. Make the balance work for you so that when you do have that issue, you aren't so much out of pocket on the deductible. Or if you have plenty saved away and you want to save on those premiums in the meantime, that might be the way for you to go. There are risks in underinsurance. So about those policies being equal, a cheaper policy may not have all the coverage you need to. Having undercoverage can leave you paying out of pocket for major disasters. Yes, overpaying is always overpaying. You want to make sure the assets that you're paying for are worthy of it. Just a bit tad over maybe. Just make sure you can cover anything going on. But if you're underinsuring something just to get by, you'll have issues. If you're underinsuring your car and you get into a serious accident and the car gets wrecked, you will find fairly soon how much you'll be paying out of your money in your pocket as opposed to money in your policy to replace that vehicle. Denials. Claim denials are something that are exactly what they say. Not everything will be covered, so know what your exclusions are, whether it's flood, whether it's earthquakes, natural disasters. One of the odder things about what happened here for our earthquake for our tornado was people got a chance to look at their actual policies, and a lot of people found out they don't have flood insurance. Now, we don't have a flood issue here, but we have flood issues here where I live in the state. And so while no one had issues particularly with flooding at that moment, we do have issues with some low-lying areas here, and after we had some filling up of the creeks and the low-lying areas, water filling up during rainstorms and coming in on people's property. So not having flood insurance became an issue for folks here after the tornado, and many folks here that live in low-lying areas. One thing also we are covering here for the denials. I'm a part of my homeowner association in my neighborhood, and we have a pool in our park. What we found out in working on getting coverage to get the pool fixed, which is 2 years later, is that many things were not covered. And some things we don't know if they're covered until we can get them working. We've had a long, hard time getting things that were covered to be covered. So we had the money to basically get things fixed to a point. We still have some things we have not even turned on yet to see if they actually work and get those covered to see if they'll pay for those to be fixed as well. So make sure you know what's happening. Many denials, many reapplies for the pool itself. I was lucky for my house. Basically everything I asked for was covered, including having a theft for materials where my contractor had some not so nice employees he let go one day, and they snuck in over a weekend and stole his stuff. that was covered as well in the homeowner's insurance part of the coverage. So we were taken care of. Now, you also want to watch out for something called policy creep. It happens over time where your premiums will rise. Things will go up in time and you'll find out that you're paying so much for something and the value that you're getting isn't quite the same. So you need to make sure you're knowing that for your policy, things don't all of a sudden change on you. Policies prices don't go up or down. And as they go up and down, you find out that there's coverage that has changed with it, or your premium may change, and that may actually change your deductible, but you don't know this. There are also discounts that are given at various times from various different insurance companies. And this does not necessarily mean you have to leave one to the other. Sometimes your insurance company is doing something to keep people there or give you a great deal for being a long-time customer, or they had a great year and they want to give you something back. Even insurance companies want to give you something back at times. So people forget to ask about applying discounts at the beginning of a new policy for good drivers time over a period of time, or getting as a security system, or just being loyal to get money off what they have, or asking for those things as they're getting new insurance policies. Remember, discounts can be missed if you don't pay attention. And something called umbrella coverage is something to look out for. Lacking it specifically. Big liability claims can exceed basic limits. So consider something called umbrella coverage for full protection. It's literally like an umbrella to overtake all of your stuff. If you're wearing a jacket when it's raining, that's fine, but you want to make sure that you're really prepared for the weather. An umbrella will help out. And this is our presentation on buying auto, home, and property insurance as a safe investment for you. Now, normally we're talking about investing in the stock market, investing in things that are going to give you a dividend, raise up in price, that you'll sell for something going forward. That's our bread and butter at Very Boring Investment Advice. Find out more about that by perusing this channel or going to our website, veryboringinvestmentadvice.com. It has these videos, has links to different things we actually talk about, as in stocks, as in ETFs, actually in crypto sometimes, and various different articles on telling you how to invest and save and invest in other things as well. Now, as the disclaimer says, I am not a financial advisor. We at work here are not financial advisors, so none of this is me telling you to buy anything. But if you're going to go buy something, especially today, so we're talking about insurance, these are some things to look out for and things to look into for your insurance buy. I brought up a lot in this thing because it's very personal to me, dealing with insurance claims. I've dealt with more than a few insurance claims for cars because I've been driving for a while. I've dealt with this one big claim for this house. I've dealt with smaller claims for other issues, other house. We had a house that had a leak in the roof that basically destroyed an entire room. That was a claim we put into going for that one. So it's not something that is unfounded that you may have to call on these companies to do something and make sure that they take good care of you. But making sure you have the right insurance, an insurance company that you believe in, insurance company that you can actually pay for on a regular basis is key. Like I said, my insurance company I've had for over 25 years, and I am happy with them because they take good care of me. We also know that in many places, including places like California and Florida, insurance companies, especially for homeowners, they're moving out because of the high cost it takes to insure those homes. So make sure whatever you're buying, the market for insurance is within your range, or there is a market for insurance in your range, and extra coverage for things may also help. Look to see if you have things like flood insurance or wind insurance, or something called act of God, which is essentially any sort of weird man-made something that comes out of nowhere. My tornado was considered an act of God because my neighbor couldn't walk by and tip over a tree into my house just by bumping into it. But a tornado just coming out of nowhere, it is. So keep your investments safe. Keep your cars, keep your houses, keep your boats and RVs and other property taken care of with the proper insurance. I cannot offer you any advice on who to go with. So check out the commercials that you see on TV. Check out some online places as well. Do your research. Do your research is the number one thing we say we do. And join us again for more investment advice of all types here from Very Boring Investment Advice.